Across all three of the following variants of As You Like It, Act 3, Scene 1, Rosalind has similar goals. When the scene starts, her goal is to be with Orlando. However, as the scene progresses, she develops a new goal of wanting to remain at Duke Frederick's court so she can stay in Celia's presence. However, Duke Frederick's hatred of Orlando and his wish to expel Rosalind from his court are significant obstacles which challenge Rosalind in her attempt to achieve her goals across all three versions of the scene. The outcome of all the interpretations of the scene is Rosalind is able to stay with Celia because the two ultimately decide to leave Duke Frederick's court for the forest of Ardennes as a result of their failure to convince him to allow Rosalind to remain at his court. Additionally, Rosalind does not mention Orlando again after her conflict with Duke Frederick, displaying how the threat of being separated from Celia has caused her to momentarily focus only on her friendship with Celia and not her wish to be with Orlando. The only dissimilarity between the variations of the scene is how the director determines Rosalind's blocking in the scene. This influences how the audience views her goals, obstacles, and the outcome of her actions across all the separate versions of the scene. As a result, the audience is able to observe the distinct aspects which makes the female friendship alliance Rosalind shares with Celia significant, including the stress relief Celia provides for Rosalind, the social support Celia gives to Rosalind, which prompts Rosalind to prize her friendship with Celia more than her desire to be with Orlando, and the willingness Rosalind has to put herself into harm's way to protect Celia from threats to her welfare, exhibiting the care she contains for Celia.
Rosalind! My cousin! Rosalind! Cupid have mercy! Not a word. Not one to throw at a dog.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my father's child.
Come, come, wrestle with your affection.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Does it deference you that you should love his son dearly?
No.
By this kind of chase I should hate him. For my father hated his father dearly. Yet I hate not Orlando.
No, Faith. Hate him not for my sake. Oh, look. Here comes the Duke.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle.
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I, when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. And good my liege, mistake me not so much, to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Why, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
If she be a traitor, why, so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together. Till we went coupling and inseparable.
Thou art a fool. She loves thee for thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone.
No, my dear.
Open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not cut. Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he has not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part? Sweet girl, no. Let my father seek another heir. For by this heaven, now at our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee. Whither shall we go? To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
The scene fades to Act 2, Scene 1 before the remainder of the scene is revealed. The director likely made the choice to divide the scene in two because he wanted to exhibit to the audience the safety of the destination Celia had in mind for her and Rosalind to travel to as a result of their exile from Duke Frederick's court.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far?
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit me, all points like a man, and in my heart lie there what hidden women's fear their will? We'll have a swashing and a marshal outside, as many other mannish cowards have, that do outface it with their semblances.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look, you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essay to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
He'll go along all the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away. Now go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Rosalind's friendship with Celia greatly aids her in her venture to overcome several obstacles she faces when she attempts to reach her goals throughout the scene. Although Duke Frederick does not permit Rosalind to stay at his court, Celia makes a valiant effort in striving to convince him to let Rosalind stay. This shows the tight-knit relationship Rosalind shares with Celia because, when Rosalind feels stressed, Celia steps in to relieve her friend of her uneasiness by trying to make the situation right for her. Taylor provides evidence for how Celia's actions express the connection her and Rosalind share by stating, "I've argued that, as is true of social groups more generally, women especially activate their bonds with one another under stressful conditions." Taylor's argument, along with Celia's conduct, suggests Rosalind shares a close bond with Celia because their relationship is exhibited when Duke Frederick's demeanor provides them with a stressful situation. For example, Celia comforts Rosalind in the time after her stressful confrontation with Duke Frederick in order to relieve Rosalind of her stress, denoting the bond the two share. The manner in which the director directs Rosalind's walking in relation to others in the scene shows how she faces those she is talking with and how she only faces away from them to display her stress or sadness over a situation and to give them her thoughts on her actions. For example, when Duke Frederick reiterates his desire to expel Rosalind from his court, she turns away from him to show her the stress she is experiencing to him. To express her friendship with Celia, Rosalind smiles, talks with, and touches Celia by holding her hands and by hugging her, especially after she comprehends the fact she succeeded in her goal of staying with Celia. Taylor proclaims the importance of Rosalind's actions with Celia by stating, "Talking is certainly not unique to women, but it may play an especially important role in building and maintaining women's relationships." Taylor's declaration, along with Rosalind's numerous lines of dialogue with Celia, exhibits how Rosalind cares about preserving the relationship she shares with Celia by talking to her about her feelings. Taylor also asserts, even a soothing touch can activate oxytocin's release, and so the stress-reducing benefits of hugging, massage, and other forms of affectionate physical contact can bring about a calmer response to stress. Taylor's statement, along with Rosalind's physical contact with Celia, exhibits how Rosalind's connection with Celia is beneficial to her because Celia appears to be more than pleased to be a source of stress relief for Rosalind because she willingly hugs and holds hands with Rosalind to keep her calm.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reasons.
Then were there two cousins laid up, when the one should be lamed with reasons, and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father.
Oh!
How full of briars is this working day world!
No, they are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would try if I could cry, ahem, and have him.
Oh, come, wrestle with thy affection.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, a good wish upon you. But turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible, on such a sudden, that you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Does it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him. For my father hated his father, and yet I hate not Orlando.
No, Faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And do you love him because I do? Oh, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress! Dispatch with you your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin! Within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then good my liege, mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Your sovereign, hear me speak.
Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young at that time to value her, but I know her now. If she betrayed her, why, so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together, and wheresoe'er we went, like Juno's swan, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be thou not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin, prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind then lacks the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Oh, let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us, and do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out, for by this heaven, now at our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I will go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us maids as we are to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because that I'm more than common tall, that I did suit me all points, like a man? A gallant curtle axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, in my heart. Lie there what hidden women fear their will. We'll have a swashing and a martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have that do outface it with their semblances.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
He'll go along all the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Now let's away. Let's get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Rosalind's friendship with Celia masterfully helps her endure through several barriers which seek to prevent her from attaining her goals throughout the scene. Celia attempts to aid Rosalind in achieving her objectives and, although her efforts seem fruitless, she is ultimately successful in keeping Rosalind happy. In this scene, Rosalind seems to be more concerned over her goal of staying with Celia than she does about fulfilling her goal of being with Orlando, even though she has a chance to be with him as a result of her exile. To explain this, Taylor insists, women get much of their social support from their ties with other women, and are only somewhat benefited both emotionally and in terms of health from their ties with men. Taylor's claim seems to match up with Rosalind's desire to be with Celia, because Celia provides her with the social assistance which no one else in her life can currently give her because she does not have a mother, and Celia is the only other female with whom she has a close relationship. Taylor also proclaims, women's stress responses are typically greater, not lower, in response to a supportive male companion, even if he is the woman's own boyfriend. But when the supportive companion is another woman, stress responses usually go down. Taylor's assertion exhibits why Rosalind values her friendship with Celia more than her fondness for Orlando, because she would rather be in Celia's presence than Orlando's. Consequently, when her friendship with Celia is threatened, she does everything in her power to stay at Duke Frederick's court in order to remain with Celia, and when Celia sees her companion is getting nowhere, she steps in to assist Rosalind so she can accomplish her goal of staying with her. When Celia realizes Duke Frederick is firm in his decision to expel Rosalind, she chooses to help Rosalind accomplish her goal of being with Orlando, because she saw the desire Rosalind had to stay with her. The way the director dictates Rosalind's blocking in relation to others in the scene displays her close friendship with Celia and her hostility toward and fear of Duke Frederick, because she mostly faces towards Celia when she talks to her and she faces away from Duke Frederick. She also has a plethora of physical and eye contact with Celia, reiterating the intimate bond she has with her. Furthermore, she only has eye contact with Duke Frederick when she stands her ground against him, showing how she wants to avoid him unless she has no other choice but to confront him to defend herself.
Why, Rosalind! Cupid, have mercy, not a word? Not one to throw at a dog. No, thy words are far too precious to be cast away on curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reason. But then there would be two cousins laid up when one should be lamed with reasons and the other mad without any. But is all this for your father? No. Some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world. They are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon me in holiday foolery. These burrs are in my heart. Oh, come. Wrestle with thy affection. They take the part of a better wrestler than myself. Oh, is it possible, on such a sudden, that you have fallen into so strong a liking with Orlando? Look, here comes your father. His eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest taste and get you from our home.
Me, uncle?
You. Within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
To beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my faults bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee, I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dominions. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. We did derive it from our friends once such me. My father was no traitor.
What?
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia. We stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged alone.
Did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be a traitor, why so am I. But we still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together. And wheresoever we went, like Juno swan, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. And her silence, her smoothness, her very patience speak to the people and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. And thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open out thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have cast upon her. She is banished.
on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool! Niece, provide yourself! If you outstay the time, upon my word, and in the greatness of my honor, you die!
Poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Thou changed fathers, I will give thee mine. Therefore I charge thee, thou not more grieved than I. I have more cause. Thou hast not, cousin. Didst thou hear? The Duke hath banished me, his daughter. That he hath not. Thou hath not. Rosalind then lacks the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No! Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, advise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. Do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your grief yourself and leave me out. By this heaven, out our sorrows pale, say what thou canst. We'll go along with thee. Whither shall we go? To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden. Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids, as we are to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold. Well, I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like to you, so shall we pass along and never stir assailants. Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall. I really don't know. Yeah, you are. That I did suit me all points like a man. We'll have a swashing and martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have that do outface it with their semblances. But what shall I call thee when thou art a man? I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look you, call me Ganymede. But what will you be called? Oh, something that hath reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena. But cousin, what if we essayed to steal Touchstone from your father's employ? Would he not be a comfort to our travel? He'll go along o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let us away. We get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go we in content to liberty, and not to banishment.
Rosalind's bond with Celia benefits her in the hurdles she encounters throughout the scene. Celia endeavors to be a benefit to Rosalind by assisting her to realize her goals. As a result, Rosalind appears to do whatever it takes to protect her friend from threats which may harm her. The fashion the director decides Rosalind's blocking in relation to others in the scene exhibits Rosalind's concern for Celia because she consciously moves in front of Celia to shield her from a wrathful Duke Frederick. This displays her close relationship with Celia because she knowingly puts herself into harm's way to defend Celia from Duke Frederick, a person she is fearful of because she does not face him while she protects Celia. To explain Rosalind's heroic actions, Taylor contends, tending reaches its most dramatic and celebrative form when people deliberately risk their own health and safety for others' welfare. Taylor's statement clearly shows how Rosalind has a high level of care for Celia because she protects her from a peril which she fears greatly, Duke Frederick. Taylor also argues the kinship and companionship of other women is protective, both implicitly by providing a watchful group and explicitly, by coming to a woman's aid. Taylor's argument displays the reasoning for Rosalind's act to guard Celia from Duke Frederick because her friendship with Celia prompts her to be instinctively protective of her. This might be the reason why Rosalind does not mention Orlando after her confrontation with Duke Frederick. Her desire to remain with and protect Celia is so strong it causes her to entirely devote herself to Celia while causing her to forget about her want to be with Orlando. In response to Rosalind's concern for her, Celia repays Rosalind after Duke Frederick leaves by cheering her up, especially by holding her hands and by telling her how she will depart from Duke Frederick's court along with her, softening the impact of Duke Frederick's resolution because she expresses to Rosalind how she will not abandon her, fulfilling Rosalind's goal of not being separated from her.